Cheers.
Cheers!
Okay, welcome everybody. This is Allan Wu in 360 with me, SG Allen, aka Chris Armstrong. We're basically going to spend a little bit of time getting to know Allan. So, I mean, look, for those of you that don't know Allan, he's popularly known on Fox TV, on The Amazing Race Asia.
AXN,
right. Is that something?
yeah, Amazing Race. Done 3 different versions of that.
Okay.
Started with The Amazing Race Asia, then I did another version in China called The Amazing Race China Rush. In Chinese, that's 从此中国. And then a couple years back, I did a celebrity version with all A-list celebrities called 极速前进, or The Amazing Race China Celebrity Edition. So that's probably what I'm best known for, but I also act and do a little bit of that, so I act, I host, do commercials, do endorsements, sponsorships, but I really enjoy just chilling, having a beer, and enjoying catching up with friends and trying new tech like this. This is cool.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's all your background. Mm-hmm. What are you working on now?
Right now I'm working on a couple things. Basically, I just finished doing a really big show for Discovery Channel called The Day I Ran China. In Chinese, that's called 功夫学徒. So that's broadcast right now on Hunan 卫视 and also on Mangguo TV in China.
Yeah.
And it's also broadcast on the Discovery Channel platform in 42 different countries right now. So I had the privilege of going to China right in the middle of the pandemic, and being able to travel to China was a challenge in itself, but going in there and then going to 8 different provinces, flying, driving, airplane, bus, train, every 3 or 4 days, all around China, staying away from the hot spots where there might be some, pandemic scares and everything too. Did that for about 2 months, and I came back here, and right now I'm working on a local Chinese drama called 卧虎藏鬼, or in English, the English title is called Ghosted. So shooting that right now for the next couple of months. We should be wrapping up in December and looking forward to doing that. Also had a small cameo role in a Channel 5 local English drama called Teenage Textbook, which is based off a 1970s or 80s teenage novel that they've made many, many times, but they've done it one more time right now with all the current stars, and they have a new batch of young people that they're using it.
Right. Well, that's cool. So let's look at your fitness. It's a major thing for you. It's all over your social media. Mm-hmm. Honestly, people, this guy takes fitness, and respectably, at his age, do you mind telling them how old you are?
I am 48 years old.
And he has the body, frankly, of an
46-year-old
athlete. It's insane. He posts regular stuff on his social media, doing challenges where he challenges himself throughout the pandemic, and he increased the rate all of the time. It's something you have to check out. We will put the links in the description for you. But frankly, how do you do it?
Can you bring it out here? Just bring it out here. We'll just eat it all. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. Our food is ready. The important stuff. We're going to get the important stuff, by the way. But yes.
And it's raining, so yeah. So look, how do you do it? How do you keep up the fitness regime while at X age and with such a busy career? I mean, how on earth do you do it?
This is it right here.
No,
beer
lies.
Makes you strong. And this is not like a diet beer. This is real beer right here.
This has to be lies. Okay?
No.
It has to be, because look, he seriously has an epic fitness level, and he still, like anybody else, you and me, enjoys beer. So he's a real person is my point, but what is that fitness regime when you're doing it?
I think for me, when it comes to fitness and health, I think for me it's always been one of the pillars or one of the most important aspects of my life that I've tried to, convey and try to, share with my friends, my family, my so-called fans, and of course my children too. So since I was a child, I think I've always had a passion to be active and be outdoors. So that made it easy. I've always been active. I played a lot of different sports. I think growing up in America, there is a huge, interest or passion just to do different types of activities physically. So from a young age, I played a lot of different sports. But I think, as you said, as you get older, we become more sedentary. We become less interested in taking care of ourselves, taking care of our bodies.
Yeah.
And so it becomes more challenging. And so I realized now I'm in a very, very particular space where I am 48, and then some people might say, hey, Allan, you look really, really good for your age. And I said, I got to be better than that. I just got to look good, period. That is my own personal goal, so I challenge and push myself that way.
What about the difficulties? Do you have any issues with your joints?
I have all kinds of issues. I have all kinds of. I think
so. You are a human being as well.
I am human. I'm
totally
human.
It, frankly.
I think when you're younger, you have no idea of your mortality or of degeneration, wear and tear. Now I have all these issues. I have a lot of joint issues. I think a lot of injuries. You know, like from rugby, from snowboarding, from competitive sports, shoulder injuries from playing beach volleyball, and a lot of like knee issues too, where I can't even bend my knee all the way. And now when I exercise, I have to take that into consideration. In the past, I could go out there and run, I could cycle, I could play basketball, tennis, beach volleyball, I could play all these sports and not even think about it. But now when I want to run, I'm like, as much as I want to run 10 clicks or even more, I think, hey, if I can run 5 or 6, get a good workout, and it still allows me to kind of look and feel the way I want to do, then that's fine. Okay. Don't get too greedy, because I'm thinking now like more long term, can I still run when I'm 60 years old or when I'm 70 years old?
Well, I was going to ask you that. Like, are you going to look at reeling it back in a little bit, or are you just going to keep going until your body starts telling you it needs, to reduce it a little bit?
I think it's important to, definitely listen to our bodies. I think we all have different goals. Some people have more of a proclivity, I think, to gain weight. Others have a big problem trying to gain muscle mass too. So I think that comes with time, where people are just exploring what works best for them. But of course, it's a combination of 3 things when it comes to our fitness and our health. I don't expect everyone, to have the type of physique where they can be on Shape magazine or Men's Health. But we all have our own goals and what we're willing to, I wouldn't say sacrifice, what we're willing to invest to achieve them. Yeah. So for me, I've always said, I'm going to go for the gold. I think it's not as hard for me as everyone thinks it is. Everyone's like, oh my God, how do you do it? But I think because I've made it part of my life, and it's part of my lifestyle too. Like if I'm not busy working, then I treat working out as part of my job. Okay. And then it's funny because even growing up in the US and here, people just think, oh, Allan, you're an actor, you're a host, you should have a body like that, and you should do that, But I look at a lot of other actors and hosts and singers, they don't look like this.
Look at James Corden in America. He's a TV host, comedian, and he is the least physically active person, but everyone loves him.
Exactly.
So it's all about your own personal image.
Absolutely.
But obviously not breaking.
Absolutely. And I think for me it's been, I think a lot of it's about being true to everyone around you, your audience, and also most importantly to yourself. So for me, if I'm going to tell people to do push-ups, because we're stuck in a circuit breaker, we can't go anywhere, we're on lockdown, I'm going to do it myself. And that's why I like to, show more videos as opposed to photos. Yeah. Not that photos aren't good, but I think videos are more genuine, they're more authentic. You can see me, I think, straining and actually working out, not just some person that's just flexing all the time, like, oh, I look like this, but I barely do anything. So I want to see them that it is a journey and it is a process, and we have to have that conviction and that desire, that motivation, that dedication, that devotion, and most important, that determination to achieve the goals we set out for.
All right. But what about, say, your diet? Do you have to live by some insane diet?
Not really, not at all.
Speaking of diet, answers the question, frankly.
Yeah, exactly. So some tasyu and some little fried chicken here. No, I don't at all. I think, honestly though, when I was younger, I had a voracious appetite. I could eat as much as I want, any time of the day. I grew up in America where the portions are just ridiculously huge.
Steaks are real steaks there.
Yeah, they're like half a cow. Here they're like just some little snippet. But for me, I realized I ate a lot back then, but now I can still eat what I want to eat, but I just kind of, curb it back a little bit though too. As long as I get my cardio and aerobic in, then I'm pretty much good to go. I can pretty much eat, I have a carte blanche. I can eat whatever I want. I can drink my beer, drink my alcohol. I can eat whatever I want to eat. And it's nice to have that freedom and to know you can do that without feeling guilty. But of course, I do, I think I say you have to burn it to earn it, right? Yeah. I mean, when it comes to losing weight or to changing our bodies, it's not rocket science. We're not reinventing the wheel. Since the beginning of time, as long as we eat less and we exert ourselves, as long as we have a negative calorie intake, then we're fine. But the problem is, as we get older, people get lazier, they get sedentary, and it's not necessarily their fault. It could just be their lifestyle. I think we're not in class anymore. We're not in PE. We're not playing sports.
To basically
exactly. So it's up to you yourself. And okay. Now, like with the wide range of different activities that we can do. In the gym. Different workouts. Online workouts. I think there's so many different activities that we can do. It's a matter of each of us, I think, just taking the time. Maybe I don't like to run, but maybe I like to do F45, or maybe I like to lift weights, but I like to go cycling. So we can all find like a physical activity. Again, it's not about trying to just be totally shredded and ripped. Unless you want to do that, that's fine. Then you have to kind of like understand the path or the process to get there. But it's all about just being the best version of ourselves that we're willing, I think, to invest and put the effort towards.
Okay.
So, I mean, for me, it's never, I think people always like, it's funny, this will be a nice little thing where, I think people just think that I'm so vain and so like all I care about is my body, but honestly, it's like the last thing I think about.
That is the last thing he is. Allan is a real person. He lives and breathes the same way as everybody else. You can see he's eating real food, he's having a beer, and frankly, he's one of the easiest guys I've been able to speak to. Most people are really intimidated by people who have a celebrity, and you forget they're just people, and that's why some of them get upset when they get crowded. It's because they want to be treated like people. So it's nice, for people to have this chance to be able to actually see that. But let's go on the final one. Like other than here, Riverhouse, where we come here in Singapore, down at Quay. Where else do you like to go? Is there a favorite spot that you have?
I actually have a very favorite spot that hasn't even opened yet. Okay. Basically, I was a part of this local craft brewery company called Wulander that I had a stake in. And at that time, we were doing gypsy brewing, where we didn't have, I think, at that time, the assets to build our own brewery in Singapore, because as you know, rental, real estate's very expensive.
Everything's crazy.
But recently, they bought me out. We have like a much bigger, I think, shareholder now, someone that's, backing up the this award-winning beer.
Yeah.
So they built, or I guess we, me, tiny little bit, we now, have built like our own brand new shiny brewery in Quay. And that will be the home of Brewlander. That's going to be opening, I think, in this month, probably more in December. And looking forward to going there. There's going to be a tasting room where you can overlook and see the entire, I think, bay over there in Quay. So that's going to be exciting. That's a little bit further out.
Yeah.
I think if you want to talk like more around this area, obviously coming to Quay is a really fun place to go to. I love going to Marina Bay Sands, like all the locals and every single tourist who comes here has to, go up to MBS, go see the Merlion. There's a certain couple places that they have to go to. So MBS is really cool. All the typical places. I think there's some nice little, streets down in the CBD, Telek Aye, a lot in Chinatown area. I like to explore new places. Go to a nice little bar. Maybe go like the National Gallery. Go to Smoke and Mirrors for a nice view. It's about just trying new things. When it comes to, I think the most important thing in life, if I'll just sum it all up, is just don't be afraid to try new things. Let it be your health and fitness. Maybe you don't like to do something, but who knows? Maybe if you tried
once.
Yeah, maybe you tried powerlifting. You like powerlifting, or maybe you like, I think swimming. Someone that you learn how to swim. I think for me, it's all about. I think it was that type of mentality. Being born and raised in the U.S. I would say not being afraid to fail.
Can do anything at it.
Yeah, just going, just
put the effort in.
Exactly, just going. I think just having that conviction, like saying, hey, if I've decided to do this, sure I might fail, but let's give it a shot. Because what's the worst thing that can happen is I fall on my face, get back up, and try again. And that's what allowed me, I think, to get to where I am, I think, now in life. And I hope everyone is not afraid. Like if you're gonna meet a pretty girl or meet a nice guy you want to talk to, don't be shy. Go out there and just be yourself. And if it doesn't work out, it's okay. You'll still live.
I guess giving it a go once, people, is it's an experience.
Yes.
You can only fail so many times, and you will succeed at some point with something you like. So So look, I think that's pretty awesome. So look, 360 with Allan Wu. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Chris. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for joining us, and hope to see you next time for the next episode, the sequel.
Take care.